Hi, welcome to this session in Integrated Science under grade 9 category, which is supposed to be understood as Junior Secondary Leaving Examination. In today's tutorial, we're going to consider the human body brought on question 1 in section B of grade 9 Integrated Science, and initially the concept is ever under reproduction. Reproduction is the process in which parents produce their young ones. And that is this type of the question. It's either we may have the female reproductive system, sometimes we do have the male reproductive system, sometimes we may be able to have the diagram of the baby in the womb, etc., depending on what an examiner tries to bring. I hope this video will help to boost the current preparation in trying to emerge victoriously over this year's exam. So the question says the diagram shows the female reproductive system. So we have part labeled K, we have part labeled J, we have part labeled L, part labeled M, as well as part labeled N. Before I talk about the questions, it will be very important that we talk about each and every part by starting with their names. So for this one, this is the region where fertilization takes place. Hence, this one is called the oviduct. If we cannot say this is the oviduct, we can also say it is the fallopian tube. Then for J, it points at a structure linked to the oviduct, meaning this is the one that conducts ovulation. Hence, it is the one that produces the eggs. So these are going to be ovaries. Since it just points at this, we can say ovary. Then moving on to L, L points at a region inside the reproductive system where the zygote is implanted. So this one is the uterus. And then when we talk about that is M, we're going to find that M is pointing at this most important part, especially during pregnancy, that closes and opens during birth. So this one is called the cervix. And then N, of course, this one is going to be the vagina. So now that we've labeled, we can move on to seeing how questions are brought. So on this one, it says identify the organs L and M. So L is pointing at the uterus, and then M is pointing at the cervix. Make sure that usage of correct spellings is a big priority, especially when you are writing this in an exam. Then it says explain the function of the organ J and K. So J and K. So if we can observe from the diagram, K is the oviduct, then J is the ovary. So talking about J and K, in this regard, we're now going to say since J is the ovary, we're going to say it produces or secretes an ova, which is just an egg. Then for K, being the oviduct, we're going to say it is a site for respiration. It is a site for respiration. Then C, which organ produces chemicals associated with changes at puberty? As it is saying, which organ produces chemicals associated with changes at puberty? So the ovaries are the organs in the female reproductive system that produce the chemicals which are called hormones associated with changes at puberty. So the correct answer here, since it says which organ produces chemicals associated with changes at puberty, this is going to be the ovaries. Then D. So we move on to that is D. So D says explain the importance of observing personal hygiene of the part labeled N. So part labeled N there, this is the vagina. It's important to observe that is the personal hygiene of the vagina, more especially the vagina wash, that is to prevent or to avoid infections. So here we can say to avoid possible infections. To avoid possible infections. I hope you find this video very much beneficial for an exam build-up preparation in trying to see that it helps boost your current confidence in seeing that you emerge victoriously over this year's final exam. See you in the next video. For now, it's a very goodbye.